Hi, I'm Laura Koniver, MD, the intuition physician, and today I want to answer your question, one of the most frequently asked questions I get, which is how much earthing do I have to do each day to make a difference? My answer is always anything makes a difference. There is no amount of earthing that is too quick or too small to make a noticeable impact on you and your body's physiology. So never, ever, ever think, I'm not going to bother slipping off my shoe for a minute or touching this tree for a second because it's not long enough. That's not true. It's long enough. Instantaneous is long enough. Of course, the benefits continue to extend the longer you do it. And I want to go over the scientific literature to tell you exactly what you're doing when you're just connecting for a second and exactly what you're doing when you're connecting for years and years and years. Okay? So let's just go over that right now. So your muscle tension immediately drops and is measurable on an electromyogram. So that is a measurable, noticeable, instantaneous change, as well as your ambient voltage of your entire body shifts, your EEG brain waves change, and your skin conductance. So that's instantaneous. So muscle, skin, brain, and also levels of pain are instantly shifted. Sustaining it for a few minutes in medical studies has shown to have an impact on your organ function and on your vasculature. So blood viscosity changes. So we're talking about this, now we're moving into studies that have gone on for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, in the range of several minutes. So just within minutes, you've really affected your circulatory system and all of the end organs that are targeted by your circulatory system, because now you've increased circulation, you've increased blood viscosity, you've increased your respiratory rate, so you've increased oxygenation, and now you've stabilized your blood glucose. So you have an immediate change in the metabolic function of your entire body. Now let's look at studies that have gone into hours. So one night is all it takes to change your indicators of osteoporosis. It affects your bones at this point, all right, deep into your bones. You are affecting and changing your metabolic panel. So all of your electrolytes and your minerals, your calcium, your phosphorus, your potassium, your magnesium, even your iron levels change after just 1 8-hour session. So sleeping grounded for one night changes your osteoporosis indicators, which show that that bone metabolism and growth is actually affected. The other thing that it affects now with just one night is thyroid function. So now you're talking about something not just physiological immediate changes and not just talking about, supporting the organs inside your body, but now we're talking about how they interrelate with each other. We're talking about the structural support with your bones, and we're talking about the hormonal support with your thyroid. All right, your cortisol levels can be affected by just one night of sleeping grounded. Your thyroid function panel changes and shifts dramatically, so that thyroid function is actually boosted just in one night. Now we're moving into studies that talk about several days. If you earth and are connected to the earth for several days straight, you actually are more resilient and more adaptable to life's stress and to demands on the physical body. There's one study in particular I'm thinking of where men were given a heavy load to lift, a very, very stressful amount of weight. And then they were grounded just one time, and then they were grounded for 1, 2, and 3 days afterwards. And the grounded participants were not only able to meet that one challenge with less inflammation in their body and less stress on their body, but they were able to recover easier, meaning their body had less inflammatory markers afterwards, they recovered quicker, and they had less pain and less physiological damage after the stress. So now we're talking about, over a course of days, earthing making you more resilient, more adaptable, and more able to recover from stress. So now we're talking about not just the physiological change, the organ change, the metabolic change, the function as a whole, but now we're talking about our ability to navigate life more effectively. So we're talking about stress recovery, and we're talking about increasing adaptability when we're talking about earthing now for several days. We're decreasing inflammation markers, we're decreasing cortisol and stress on the body, we're decreasing pain, and we're increasing our recovery. And so now we're at years out. All these other studies have, from instantaneous changes to changes over days, weeks, and months shown the support to the human body. But now we're looking at studies over years. What do I anticipate over years? Over years, I anticipate anti-aging benefits and anti-cancer benefits, because it turns out most of the diseases that we are confronted with as a society are from chronic inflammation. Lots of cancers, lots of chronic diseases that we used to think was just a result of old aging is actually just either repetitive injury or repetitive inflammation and stress, right? So, arthritic changes, dementia changes, stroke, heart attack, diabetes, metabolic syndrome, and cancers that were thought to just increase with age are actually really just increasing with inflammation. And so when we increase inflammation, either through poor diet or stress on the body, EMFs and that kind of thing, then we're accelerating all of those conditions. And when we decrease inflammation on the body and stress on the body, then we are relieving, I anticipate finding, relieving the incidence of these kinds of illnesses. What we understand now is that there's instantaneous change. What we understand now is that there is immediate effect and immediate benefit to you when you ground for a split second. So what we're at now is there is no time that's too short. So get out there and touch one leaf for 1 minute, or walk barefoot just to get your mail, or just to go pick up the kids from the school bus stop, or just to stand out there on your way up to bed for a minute barefoot and look up at the stars and see what the moon looks like tonight. That's like a tradition. Just go see what the moon looks like and then go to bed. That 1 second has made a difference in your physiology and in your body and in your health and in your well-being. And what we're going to grow into over time, and as we have longer and longer studies, generational studies, is that there's no amount of time being connected to the earth that's too long. Right? So right now we know there's no time too short. And I believe an entire lifetime is not too long to live connected to the earth and in our best, most optimized state of well-being.